how to collect a soil sample for nutrient analysis. And I put there a simplified approach. Just want to make it simple so you can just go take your soil sample and bring and submit it here. Well, I'm going to do a short demonstration on how to take soil samples. We were talking about how a soil sample needs to be representative of your land. We're going to take a representative soil sample from this area right here. So this must be maybe 40 feet by 15 feet. And in order to do representative sample, we have to not take only soil sample of the right-hand corner or the left corner or the middle. We want the soil to represent the whole field. So in order to do this, we will walk in a zigzag pattern and take samples. So we're going to start at this point, at the beginning of the zigzag pattern, we will take a soil sample. Then as we're going in the zigzag, we will take a soil sample in the middle of that zigzag, take another soil sample, continue here, take another soil sample. Then we would continue to the next part of the zigzag, take a soil sample here, continue, take a soil sample at the end of the zigzag pattern. Okay, so now I'm going to demonstrate how to take one of those soil samples that we were taking in a zigzag. So ideally, the best tool to take a soil sample is a soil corer. However, soil corers are not commonly available to growers, so we will demonstrate a modified version with a shovel. You dig with a shovel about 4 inches, okay? And you want to kind of flatten this, take the extra, and then you would take the sides, because you want a core. You want something like a core, so it kind of gets a representation of the different depths of the soil. You cut the edges here, so in order to get symmetry, you want a soil core. A soil core is kind of a tube that you insert in the soil and takes a sample from the different levels of the soils, the different depths, and it's symmetrical. But the shovel does not do symmetry. This is kind of curved. So you want to remove these curved parts. You want to remove this. Okay? You remove this curve, and that way you get a more symmetrical, almost like a soil core, and put it inside your bucket. You do that about 10 to 15 times as you're walking in your zigzag pattern. Once you are done with your 15 samples, you mix them. You want to mix it very well until it's pretty homogeneous. Okay? Once it's homogeneous and once it's mixed, you want to take out 2 cups of soil and put it in a bag. So you take a subsample. This subsample now represents your whole field. Since it's mixed, this subsample is a mixed sample of your whole field. And that way, when you get the results will not tell you how the left corner of your field is doing or how the right corner of your field is doing, but how your whole field is doing. And this makes a lot of sense, because imagine if you left a bag of fertilizer in one corner or some animal died in one spot, then that spot will be abnormally high in nutrients. And or let's say you take a soil sample from a corner that has not have a history of fertilization, then it will have very low nutrients, your result, and will not be representative of your whole field. And you will, the recommendations will lead you to make wrong decisions in fertilization. So therefore, it could impact your yield if you don't apply enough. And if you apply too much, it'll definitely be a waste of money and it'll affect the environment. So in order for you to apply the right amount of fertilizer that will increase yield and be the best economic decision and not affect the environment negatively, you want to take a representative soil sample. You get a bag, and you can label the bag. it's a good idea to label it so you can put your name or the name of your farm. The name of your farm. And if you're sampling from more than one field, you might want to remind yourself, like for example, field 1, or something that will remind you of where's the sample from and the date, okay? So you would want to put the date and take 2 cups of soil. Two cups of soil, and bring this soil to the University of Hawaii Extension Office, the one nearest you. Here in Hilo would be 875 Komohana Street, but there's also stations in Kona and in Waimea. You submit this. Ideally, you want to submit it soon, because the nutrients degrade inside the bag and nitrogen becomes gas. Nutrients are lost through microbial decomposition. You want to submit it quickly after you take the sample. If you cannot submit it quickly, then refrigerate it before you bring it to the office.